The wind howled outside the cabin, rattling the windows as I sat hunched over my laptop, the cursor blinking accusingly on a half-finished sentence. The isolation was supposed to spark creativity, but 3 days in, the words were sluggish, and the silence of the woods felt heavier than I'd expected. The host's single rule, do not open the door if someone knocks after midnight no matter what they say, had seemed quirky at first, like a campfire tale meant to spook city folk. I'd laughed it off, figuring it was just a way to keep guests from wandering into the dark and getting lost. But at 12:17 a.m. on the third night, the knock came. 3 sharp raps, deliberate and unhurried. My fingers froze on the keyboard. The clock on the wall ticked loudly, confirming the time. I waited, holding my breath, hoping it was a mistake, a branch, an animal, anything. Then it came again, louder this time, and a voice followed, low and desperate. Please, let me in, it's me. It was my voice. Not just similar, exactly mine, down to the slight rasp from years of coffee and late-night writing sessions. My heart slammed against my ribs. I stood, chair scraping against the wooden floor, and stared at the door. The cabin was small, just one room with a bed, a desk, and a fireplace. The door was solid oak, locked with a heavy bolt, the only way in or out. No windows showed the outside. The host had boarded them up, claiming it was to keep the heat in. I know you're in there, the voice said, trembling now. Please, I'm hurt. I need help. I edged closer, my socks silent on the cold floor. The fire had died to embers, casting long shadows that flickered like they were alive. My mind raced. How could this be? A recording? A prank? But the voice wasn't mechanical. It had the cadence, the pauses, the way I'd plead if I were standing out there in the freezing dark. What happened to you? I called, my throat dry. A pause. Too long. Then, I got lost. I was running. Something's out here. It's not safe. Please, just open the door. The rule echoed in my head. No matter what they say. But this wasn't some stranger. It was me, or something pretending to be me. My hand hovered near the bolt, but I didn't touch it. How do I know it's you? I asked. Another pause. The wind outside seemed quiet, as if the night itself was listening. You're writing a novel about a woman who finds a hidden room in her house? The voice said. You named her Clara. You've been stuck on chapter 10 for 2 days because you can't figure out why she'd stay after finding the bones. My stomach dropped. Nobody knew those details. Not my editor, not my friends, no one. I hadn't even saved the draft to the cloud. It was just on my laptop. I backed away from the door, my pulse roaring in my ears. What are you? I whispered. Not sure I wanted an answer. Let me in, and I'll tell you, it said, the voice hardening, less desperate now. The knocks came again, faster, insistent. The door rattled in its frame. You're wasting time. It's coming. I grabbed the fire poker from beside the hearth, its weight cold and reassuring in my hand. What's coming? I demanded, raising my voice to mask the tremor. The knocking stopped. Silence stretched, thick and suffocating. Then, so soft I almost missed it, the voice whispered, You already know. I froze. The air in the cabin felt. We can't explain the full story in short. If you want to see the full story, we will give the long version related to the short.